welcome back. It is time dun, 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 to read fractions. All right. You have already introduced fractions. You have already got to a point where your child can understand them. They have a conceptual understanding of fractions. If not, beep, beep, hit the stop button, go to the introduction of fractions, or go to the understanding teaching fractions concepts. Go to one of those videos, check it out first. Get an understanding of how to teach your child the concept of fractions, and then come back here. This is one of the latter parts of this whole fraction journey. It's really still a beginning part, but it's a latter part with regards to what we're doing here. All right. Thank you again for joining me. If you are here and you're supposed to be here and you meant to be here and you meant to click play, the little triangle, whatever. If you're supposed to, welcome. Hi. All right. So what we're doing is we're reading fractions, and what that consists of is understanding the representation of equal parts. I know you kind of heard of it before. Your child kind of uses it a lot. All right, they're understanding that fractions are representing equal parts. So for instance, in this right here, this was one rectangle. Now it is a composed of 4 different equal parts in it. So this is broken down into fourths. See? Fourths. Yeah, right. So that's the first part. Now, today, we are going to another place. We're going to focus on denominators and numerators and what they actually mean and how to actually teach them. So if that's what you're ready for, that's what you're ready to help your child with, good job. Let's go. All right. So a denominator, denom. All right. Denominator. What does it mean? Well, in reality, it's actually, I think it's Latin or something for like I said earlier, denom. Pretend I don't know. Google it. All right. So denominator. It is the number written below the fraction bar, and it shows the number of parts. All right, I know that's kind of corny. It's really supposed to be I know I had a professor that would be very upset with me putting the number there, but it's a way that I help my kids out. So please don't be so mad at me if you see this video. So yes, the denominator shows the number of parts. All right, so down here we have A. It's represented as A. We also have, we can see it here. So the denominator is the number of parts. And if we look here, we see there are 1, 2, 3, 4 parts to this whole. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we go back to this example, we would know that it should be something number over 4. And I use A to represent something, just a regular variable that I've come to adore. All right. So we have our denominator. Now it is time for our numerator. All right. And your child can understand the numerator because it's written above the fraction bar, and it is the number of parts determined. So it's the selected amount of parts. So if I said 1 out of, that 1 is the number selected out of the denominator. All right, so in this sense, you see I again represented as a number. If we look at an example, we see that we have 1 part right here out of 1, 2, 3, 4 that is colored. So if I was going back to this, I would say 1 out of 4 is 1 out of 4 rectangles are colored. And again, remember looking at this one, we have 1 that is colored out of 1, 2, 3, 4, which are colored. So we have 1 out of 4 as our numerator. So 1 is our numerator, 4 is our denominator. And I couldn't come up with another saying for the numerator, so it'd be okay. All right. So reading fractions. Right here, again, we're showing equal parts of a whole. So in this situation, when your child looks at 1/3, they know that there's one part determined out of 3 equal parts, right? So let's say I have my rectangle. Since I like my rectangle, wow, that is a terribly drawn rectangle, but please bear with me. So I have 3 equal parts. So 1, 2, 3, denominator, check. All right, now I need to determine one part. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to color that one part. So now I'm going to color one part black, and I have 1/3. So if you look at this object, I have 1/3 colored black. Again, you're looking at this one. This time I'll make a circle. How about that? In here, and it's 4 equal parts, maybe. You know what? For the sake of this, there are 4 equal parts. And so what you're going to do is we have our 4 equal parts, which is our denominator. Now we're going to determine 3. And what we're going to do is we're going to color them this time in red, hopefully. And so I'll have 1, 2, 3. And so I have my numerator now really represented. So 3 out of 4, or 3/4. Again, check out the resources, and you'll get some of these reading fractions activities, and your child can get the opportunity to show some of their examples. With regards of what we just did right here, we have this rectangle broken into fourths, and then we have this circle broken into fourths. So right now we already know our denominator, right? Or your child already knows their denominator. They're broken into fourths. So the denominator is shown. You say, how many parts are there to this rectangle? And they'll say 4. So is the number of parts our denominator or our numerator? And they'll say, well, the number of parts is our denominator. And so they'll put 4 at the bottom. And then you can say for this one, well, I want you to color in 2 equal parts. Okay. And so they'll determine 2 equal parts. And they'll say, and then you'll tell them, well, 2 out of 4 are colored. And on this one, you can tell them, I want you to color 1 part. And so they can determine, all right, I'll color 1, therefore 1 out of, which is this fraction bar, 4 is determined. All right, and so this is a chance for your child to actually start reading these fractions. So they could say, well, this fraction represents 2/4, and this fraction represents 1/4. And you could look at them, give them a big hug, smile, be excited for yourself, because you helped your child. Really, you helped your child, and in turn, it helps teachers. Thank you. Thank you again for joining me on my learning block. Again, check out some of these resources. They'll help you out with teaching this whole thing. And I look forward to seeing you next time. And by the way, I know I didn't add it. I should have. This is the part where you can add your pizza. All right. So thank you again for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye. Bye-bye. No, I'm joking. See you next time.